Hasan Piker has been getting called out a lot recently, and he deserves it. More so for this Cuba situation that's going down. Let's hear more about it. Watch it through More Pegasus channel. See what's happening in these YouTube streets. Don't forget to hit the like button, also the hype button, and drop some comments. I like reading what you guys have to say.
Welcome back to a series so electric, even Kaya subscribed. In today's video, Hasan continues to get massive backlash for his grift in Cuba. He was living luxurious.
I say you hyped a video of mine earlier. Well, I appreciate the heck out of that. Not sure if it helps or not. It's supposed to like promote the video to the algorithm and to other people whenever you hit the hype button. So it really does help out a lot, according to YouTube. So thank you. It really means a lot.
In 5-star hotels while Cubans suffered a blackout. Well, now he's showing off the wads of cash he seemingly peppered Cubans with. He's cooking up fan fiction about the TSA agents being Hasanabi heads and welcoming him.
Wow.
He's desperately trying to address the backlash, claiming that he didn't attend the music concerts from his fellow terrorist glazers, the Kneecap Boys. He claims he was locked in on conducting on-the-ground interviews while admitting he went to bars and restaurants to enjoy himself. Another YouTuber, Nas Daily, confronts Hasan IRL about his terrorist support.
I'm over here thinking about the Kneecap Boys. Pause. Yeah, that's a crazy nickname. I don't think that's a nickname you want.
And he cooks up the most insane fan fiction story you will ever hear. He then claims an agent of Mossad intercepted him on his mission. Surely, Asmongold has responded to the music festival and the insane dystopia of Hasan's hotel alongside the blackout. He claims he wants these people in prison for their disgusting propaganda. Subscribe so aliens come to Earth and abduct Hasan. Holy cinema.
Let's up those numbers!
Now let's begin. Right, so Hasan is back continuing his grift in Cuba. While Cubans suffer a blackout, Hasan was staying in 5-star hotels, living luxuriously in his expensive clothes, sipping his espresso, being personally invited by the government for propaganda, of course.
The Cuban government actually hit my contact from the embassy and told him that if the only thing stopping us from coming to Cuba was the consistent internet access, we can make it happen.
Well, turns out people have figured out the solution to the crisis. I think I've solved Cuba's power crisis, and it's just connecting Kaya getting shocked straight to Cuba. Thank you, Hasan Piker, for saving the country. Anyways, so remember how Hasan was bragging about peppering Cubans with wads of cash and essentially raining down the money like rice gum on a homeless person? Well, it turns out he really wanted to show evidence of that. He's actually showing the wads of cash now, saying, look, guys, it's real. I am the savior of Cuba. Look, I'm giving them money. After doing my night safari in the bus, of course, you know, looking at the zoo animals, you're absolutely disgusting. Hasan shows off the wads of cash that he peppered Cubans with.
Also, shouts out to the Hasanabi head at TSA that let me pass through without giving me too much grief, as I had wads and wads of cash on me. That was really fun.
He lying already. Hasanabi head. Get up out of here.
Funny, because I walked through TSA and I got a fat stack on me, and it looks a lot more than it actually is because it's like small bills. That's what they told us. They were like, "Oh, like it's very, you know, you should bring small bills and just give people money, right?" So I came in with this shit, okay, and this is. It looks a lot more than it actually is. Okay. So basically what ended up happening is, I walked in with a brick. It's not actually a brick. It's not actually a brick. Don't worry. You are so lucky you got a fucking fan. I know. Cause he was looking at me like, he's like, bro, you're Hasan. I'm like, yeah. He's like, what the hell is that in your hand?
Right. Surely surely the TSA head was just a Hasanabi head, of course. Hasan fans all over the world, obviously. Hasan is totally not making up bullshit stories as always. Hasan would never lie, right? Just kidding, he's the biggest liar ever. Reminder, Hasan literally lied about his experience with the DHS back in America. They basically detained him and questioned him about his terrorist support, and he talked about it like an infringement of free speech, going, oh my god, they're asking me about my politics. And then it came out that he literally lied about everything as well, and then the timeline didn't even match up based on his own tweets. Classic Hasan, lying is OP. Back at it again.
Lying is OP, as I say all the time.
Also, I love how he emphasizes, like, yeah guys, I brought small bills for the Cubans. I'm so thoughtful, you know? Meanwhile, Hasan only used to $1,000 bills, of course. He has them saved all the way from 1969, obviously. Never used an amount less than that in his entire life. He probably doesn't even know shit like $5 and $10 bills actually exist. What am I, a peasant? My outfit is worth 9 years of your salary, Cuban. Don't talk
Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing?
to me. Anyways, then he addresses a chatter saying that he's gonna get robbed.
Is that just a brick? What the fuck? And I was like, yeah, well, you know, I'm going to Cuba. And like they're all small dollars. Like, don't worry, it's nothing crazy. Bro, you're gonna get robbed. Brother, the money is for the people here. Okay. So like if someone were to rob me of this money, that would be like I was gonna give it anyway. You know what I mean? It's just it goes to one guy rather than a bunch of guys. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, of course Hasan wouldn't care about being robbed. Surely he wouldn't cry and throw like a massive fit about it. Buddy, you can't even take a guy coming up to you with a
You said Hasan would never tell the truth. Nah, that's facts. That's big facts.
dog shocking meme. Don't pretend that you'd be okay with a robbery. I mean, maybe he'd be fine with it as long as he like recorded it on stream and he got to play like victim about it or whatever. But if it happened off stream, I 100% guarantee Hasan would absolutely crash out, say that the agents of Israel are after me. The agents of Israel robbed me. Asmongold fans robbed me. Pure responded, was that a stack of $1 bills, lol? This guy so cheap? I don't really know what it was. I don't think that he's going to like skimp out on
With a $700 shirt on. Ain't that the same one? Yeah, that's the same shirt. They were saying cost $700.
this or whatever, because he's already exploiting it to the max. Like the money he's made off his stream is way more than anything he's giving to the Cubans anyways. I literally just woke up. This is the first post I see. For days now, he's pretended everything he's done down there is so great. He's accomplishing so much. He even seems smug when talking about peppering people with wants of cash, only to out himself that they're small bills, so he's not really giving that much money. And why isn't he? Because their communist overlords have made it so $2 equals an average hour's pay for workers there. Yet he still wants to pretend communism is so great. All that money you got, Hasan, you could take a month's wages from your streaming alone and basically pay the entire monthly wage of almost every Cuban. But that's not what communists do. They give breadcrumbs while hoarding all the meat. Sound like anyone familiar? We just got this diabolical gif. Man's
That's a dude from, I forgot what was the name of that arc. From One Piece. He was wild.
thought he was going to a strip club. We got the rage baiting Hasan fan. You're doing great work. Ignore the haters. People like Asmon watch the things you do for good and criticize from their bedrooms. Oh, brother. You really need to get a job, man. He's paying blood money for killing all those people in the hospital. Okay, I'm not going to say he's responsible for that or anything, but it definitely is weird to see him, you know, in an air-conditioned hotel and stuff while hospitals are still dark. Whoever heard of a socialist bragging about his fat stacks? Wasn't this guy like posing with his money, you know, when he was gambling in China? Hopefully.
It's a champagne socialist, bro. A champagne socialist. Like, you ever watch or read the book? What was it called? Animal Farm? Trying to tell people, man. Check that out. It's going to put people onto the game that a lot of socialists and fake communists be doing.
They deny this Nepo baby Regard entry back into the US. We don't want him. Right, so then Hasan addresses the...
I said the red shirt? Yeah. $700. If I'm not mistaken, someone showed it. They went and did some research and found that he paid like $700 for the shirt. He said that shirt better massage my back at all times when it's on. Nah, that's facts. Better have been autographed by Jerry Seinfeld or something. and George Costanza and Kramer. It better be the literal shirt that Kramer wore on the last episode of Seinfeld. Yeah, that's crazy as hell. Hold on.
Backlash he's been receiving all this time. Now, reminder, he was absolutely crashing out on Twitter just last episode.
Said y'all read it in 9th grade? See, that's fire. He was put on early. Says when I read Animal Farm. Oh, with the hours. I knew what you meant. At first I was like, I had to scroll back up. I was like, oh yeah, we saw about Animal Farm, so I got it. And then you clarified. I appreciate that. In 9th grade is when you read Animal Farm. Yeah, you got put on early. I'm telling you, man, they need to start people off with that book. Need to be like a, what do you call it? Like the list of those mandatory books that they be having in schools. I don't know if they still do that. There used to be some kind of list that they made, I guess you could say every grade go through of certain books before you could pass or whatever in that class. Animal Farm need to be one of them books. That's a fact. I could just start picking out other similar books like that. But yes, that book will put people on to what these fake socialists and these champagne socialists and fake communists, what they be trying to do. And the cycle always repeats itself too.
Cuban doctors told me they have to
look at Black Lives Matter. That's all I'm saying. It's just, that's all. Just they was in a mansion talking about something. Oh, well, we threw parties for Black Lives Matters there. Nah, you was just living in the mansion. And his owners knocked on your door. Y'all treated it like it was a raid.
To sue up patients mid-surgery when the generators run out of gas. But MAGA are on here lying about the people that went out to Cuba with aid to turn everything into a distractive spectacle. Pure MAGA propaganda. You're cattle if you fall for it. Right, it's just MAGA propaganda. Of course, guys. It's MAGA, it's Nazis. Well, this time he's claiming that he didn't actually attend the concert by his buddy's kneecap, right? Basically, he wants to say that he wasn't wasting electricity, guys, or he wasn't making a mockery of the whole thing. That was just his buddies. That was other people, of course. Hasan addresses backlash surrounding the kneecap performance, reveals he didn't attend because he was busy spending every moment interviewing Cubans to investigate how the blockade has affected them. Says he only went to a couple of bars. Of course.
Yeah, okay.
I basically landed in Cuba and spent every moment that I had. I didn't participate in a lot of the stuff and any of the stuff really that the Progressive International was doing, which is why it's also.
He's lying like he breathes. You say you'll never blow 700 on a shirt. Yeah, nah, that's crazy. It would have to come with a lot of benefits. Like I was saying, they would have to give me massages.
Like additionally funny, while they're on the one hand, they're lying about like the events that took place. On the other hand, they keep saying I was, a principal participant of these events that took place. I wasn't. I was actually hanging out. I didn't do anything with Progressive International, even though I love those guys and they did fantastic work out there. Because I locked in with Belly of the Beast, the independent news outlet in Cuba, one that I really, really leaned into. I mean, they're fucking incredible. Basically, I spent every moment just conducting interviews, like talking to regular Cubans, talking to people that are doing incredible work and investigating like how this complex system of restrictions has actually harmed Cuban production every step of the way. Right.
Okay, Hasan. I was locked in conducting interviews. I was just in the zone, obviously. I was doing some on-the-ground Diddy Piker journalism, of course. Basically, he was trying to get everybody to just agree with his takes or whatever. Basically, take a mic up to them, go like, hey, do you like communism? Everything going on here is just absolutely great, right? It's all the US's fault. If they say yes, give them like a portion of the wads of cash. If they say no, Asmongold fan, agent of Israel, you get to starve. I imagine that's how it went down. I like unironically, you know, like that's how I feel like Hasan would conduct it. He would literally distinguish between the bad Cubans and the good Cubans, basically whoever agrees with them and whoever doesn't. Also, I really wonder if he like filmed any of these interviews to later put up on his like his YouTube channel or whatever, because that would also mean that he's essentially just using it for content as well. Or the other possibility is he filmed it and he's not going to post it because he didn't like the results or whatever, right? But yeah, fact of the matter is you were literally invited by the government, right?
I agree with you, FB.
Right? You admitted it on a podcast. Yeah, so basically you're just there to do propaganda. Chances are you're talking to a bunch of like, you know, state-approved media or whatever, right? That's not even like authentic. So anyways, then he tries to defend Kneecap and, you know, the fellow terrorist supporters.
Kneecap participated in one of the many daily festivals that happen during the day. Okay? That festival that they participated in had Cuban musicians that were also participating in it. It was free for all Cubans to attend, and it was overwhelmingly Cubans that were there. It blows my fucking mind that these people can be so cynical and so gross that they think that like regular everyday Cubans don't want to experience fucking joy. It blows my mind. You just don't even want to think. Like, you literally can see it. You can see it in real time. You can see Cubans dancing, singing, having a good time. And you're like, oh, they must be brainwashed. Someone was claiming that they were being bribed with treats. And then I come back and I see people on the sidelines trying to do their very best to continue justifying the asphyxiation that we have implemented on this island. The people die because you morons threw a giant party and sucked up all the electricity. These are fucking Cubans, man. These are everyday Cubans having a great time.
Yeah, okay, Hasan. So when we literally have people filming outside your flippin' hotel, seeing that it's dark outside, that there's no power, and your hotel is still lit up, eating up all of the power, and we also see that your fellow terrorist glazers are doing concerts, consuming all of this electricity, eating up the power, while the hospitals are literally dark. I mean, how do you explain that one, right? When hospitals are literally struggling and have to essentially like turn their ventilators off and end up killing people, and you guys are still enjoying and having a great time, that's like an insane dichotomy, and it just shows where the government's priorities actually are, right? And I feel like at this point you just need to admit that you completely messed up. This was
it's disgusting. Some Hunger Games type ish. Nasty as hell. He was over there with the elites.
a completely out of touch move, and you're essentially
Some Squid Game type of flow.
doing propaganda for them to pretend that this is like some sort of a manufactured crisis or that this is all the US's fault. It's just actually crazy. I mean, obviously you believe there is a crisis if you're going there to, you know, pepper them with wads of cash and make it rain or whatever. But I think the best thing you can do for them is to actually give them Kaya, right? Because Kaya will power the entirety of Cuba, right? With the amount of times you fucking shocked her. You've stored so much electricity in her system. I mean, might as well. Right? Might as well. Also, is it just me or is he like fumbling his words really badly? Because I don't know, he's saying something like daily festivals that happen during the day. Yeah, I think that's when they happen, man. And all the excuses like, oh, it's Cuban musicians. Oh, it's free for all Cubans. I mean, can you imagine they fucking did a concert and started charging the Cubans? Like, of course it's free. It better be fucking free, you absolute out of touch fucking moron. You think people are complaining that, oh my God, you were like, your friends were charging people? That would be like inhumane levels of exploitation, right? But yeah, none of that changes the fact that you guys are going there, consuming the power, and being a bigger burden on the entire system, right? The fact that the government would rather keep you guys happy and make sure you give glowing reviews of Cuba than power the flippin' hospitals, it is just dystopian. So then
it's pretty nasty as hell. Thank you for the support, FB. You said, well, if Hasan is so upset about it, we could send Cubans to his house. Facts. The way he could take care of that way he could take care of them. I agree. He cares so much. He upset. So yeah, send him to his mansion. Send him to his mansion. Thank you for the support, FB.
Response saying that, oh, everybody is just lying, of course. Only Hasan Piker is telling the truth.
That would be hilarious. He just opened his door one morning. There's like a bunch of the Cubans in the front, like, hey, man, you said you loved us. We here. Where can we sleep? Which room is ours? Oh, you got a maid. Oh, and a chef. Okay, that's good for all of us. We can have a festival every day.
Truth, everything you're seeing is complete lies. And then he starts calling people like demons. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the demon is the rich commie LARPer who is going on a literal poverty tour after flying there.
On a free concert that was thrown together. And it wasn't just Kneecap. It was like, Cuban artists that were also participating in it. I say you're a fucking insanely indecent person and you should really think hard about why you're repeating obvious moronic lies that MAGA is spamming on the timeline. Vicious scumbag. Five-star hotel powered by generators while the local hospital goes dark. You are truly, genuinely a psychopath. Wow. This guy is one of the biggest, most troubled, most schizophrenic, vulgar demons I have ever encountered in my fucking life. And he has the audacity to claim that he is a humanitarian and a liberal. Shame on this fucking piece of shit. Shame on you. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. I wasn't even in Cuba when I tweeted this, for the record. Cubans are regular people. Cubans are regular ass people. They enjoy music. They want to fucking go to a concert. They want to live their lives in spite of the fucking ridiculous blockade, right? In spite of the crippling blockade. This is the Kneecap Boys participating in a public free concert that was put together for Cuban artists, okay?
Listen, that's the thing. Your priorities are completely all over the place, right? People don't give a fuck about your damn concert, man. You're obviously sort of using it to push a political agenda. I feel like people just want their country back, And when you go there, singing the praises of communism, saying how much you love the dictators, how much you love...
Man, you tripping. You talking about something. Yeah, at least they could dance for one day. They partied for a little while, right? Ain't that the most important thing? They was dancing. That wasn't great?
Of your terrorists or whatever, and you were personally invited by the government. I don't think people give a shit if it's a free concert. It's still completely tone deaf. And essentially, it's like a distraction, right? Look at us guys. We're doing music. Everybody's enjoying themselves. They're going to use you for propaganda. They are already using you for propaganda. You're basically going to go on the news again, right? Like you did in Iran, where the regime was playing you on TV alongside Sneeko. And you were happy about it until you learned that you were right next to Sneeko, right? You're such a useful idiot,
No! No! They put me with Sneeko! No! I didn't realize!
Then he proceeds to contradict what he just said and says that he went to a bunch of bars and restaurants. Crazy. Is that where you were conducting your interviews, Hasan?
And they were like, oh.
Yo, that Dexter meme, bro. That dude would never not be funny. Surprise, mother effer.
We're here. Let's do it. We'll also participate in this concert. So they also gave a free performance for every Cuban that was in attendance. And these people, and this concert is just mostly Cubans, right? Like it's just a lot of people were like, oh, they did a concert for just like the wealthy fucking tourists or whatever. No, it's just mostly Cubans. You fucking idiot. Did you hang at the Malacona at night? People are dancing, making music all night long. It's beautiful. Yeah. I didn't. I went to just a couple different bars. The first night I went to a bar with the Kneecap Boys, it was awesome. I had a great time there. We just dumped a lot of cash to the best of our ability on everyday Cubans. But it was much better, in my opinion, to just go to regular bars and regular restaurants that were operating in spite of the circumstances, because it was there were just real regular Cubans there.
So when you say that you were spending every moment of every day conducting interviews, that's why you didn't have time to enjoy this music festival. What you were actually doing is going to fucking bars and restaurants and enjoying yourself, eating good food, drinking, having a good time. And then at the end of the day, while everybody's in the dark, you go to your lavish hotel and enjoy, right? This is literally a vacation trip for you. It is absolutely...
That's pretty nasty. That's real nasty, actually. Like, whoa. Of course, when it comes to Hasan.
Yeah.
You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, yeah. You know your name. You
Nasty work.
Disgusting, bro. And it's so classic Hasan. This damn LARPer gets worse day by day. People responded, Hasan's defense here is embarrassingly weak, claiming you spent every moment interviewing Cubans about the blockade while admitting you only hit a couple bars and dumped cash on locals isn't investigative journalism. The real aid mission was getting Hasan to experience 12 hours without AC or Wi-Fi. Here in solidarity with the Cuban people via the 5-star resort I'm staying in. You should be ashamed if you fall for this slop. And it's just Hasan and his communist buddies just watching the poor people, you know, got their selfie stick out there. Hasan, you aren't recovering from this no matter how much you cry. You'll always be a Nepo baby regard. This has done irreparable damage to his reputation. This might be worse than him shocking his dog, honestly. Because we literally see these side by side. He is quite literally the fucking, the celestial dragon, you know? Right, so Ethan calls him out, drops a series of stories calling out Hasan and the Cuba influence.
Nah, that was an accurate comparison.
Flotilla attendees. Ethan posts, I applaud this man's bravery. He flew from LA to Miami first class, endured a 30-minute flight on coach, stayed one night in a 5-star hotel, made tens of thousands of dollars streaming the whole ordeal, and was back in time for March Madness. Truly a socialist icon. Salute. And then he posts his $1,400 shiny gold glasses. Did you know he once considered going to Gaza? Play the clip.
Dude, I might actually take Marsh with me to Gaza.
Gaza?
Yeah.
Is it dangerous?
Yeah.
Yes. I unfortunately most likely will not be able to go.
Is it dangerous?
Yeah.
Yes. The people that I did talk to said that they could not give me security assurances.
Is it dangerous?
Yeah.
Yes. Have some conviction.
These dumb MFers went to Cuba to throw a rave for themselves with the last drops of oil on the island. Bouncy castle slides for Cuba. Don't worry, everyone. They painted a mural. Yo, the dichotomy really effed me up. Sips from tiny espresso cup. Hasan walked briskly back to the 5-star hotel, knowing that room service stopped at 8 p.m. That is diabolical. Bro came back just in time for room service. There's a filet mignon he was eyeing that would go a long way towards his daily goal of 300 grams of protein. So Hasan responded in the most unhinged way. Says Ethan Klein loves starving innocents, and that liberals are only criticizing what went down in Cuba because he was there. We got 37-year-old unemployed rage act Gato. Holy Christ, these are all melting down over people delivering aid to Cuba. He loves starving innocents. What the fuck are you on about, dude? So if you criticize Hasan, you just love starving people. Okay. Why are liberals mad at the flotilla? It's because I went. These people have no vision or goals out of politics. They're purely reactionary, and their politics revolves around opposing me. It sounds freaking insane, but that's a big reason. I wish them well. Maybe because it's the things you do, Hasan. Maybe because you're consistently unhinged every fucking day of your life. You absolute psychopath, bro. Like, not in my wildest dreams would I ever imagine Hasan would go to Cuba to stay in his fucking air-conditioned hotel while outside people are in a blackout and hospitals don't have electricity. Like, that sounds like some deranged fan fiction somebody made up, but it's actually true. Man, Ethan Klein is not my cup of tea, but he never advocated starving people, and he called Gaza a genocide. So why does Hasan keep lying about him? Klein should sue, and Hasan does not wish detractors well, but accuses them of being Mossad, CIA, anything but valid critics. Anyways, moving on to Hasan's journey into fan fiction. So here he's talking about a YouTuber named Nas Daily, and apparently this guy confronted Hasan for openly supporting terrorists. Now, from what I understand, this guy's kind of a piece of shit too. Like, there's a bunch of lore about him on YouTube or whatever.
I think I've heard of him, and I don't think it was all positive stuff. Right, like I've heard he's been pretty nasty as well.
But regardless, let's look at the Hasan response here. Twitch streamer Hasan Piker describes...
If you're still in live stream or watching, let me see Fang Gain in the comment section of the live chat.
His interaction
if you're able to.
With YouTube vlogger Nas Daily at the Havana airport when he was leaving. He states that Nas Daily was freaking people out and making them uncomfortable. Recalls challenging him.
He came up to me at the Havana airport while I was flying to Mexico and then flying to Los Angeles to enter the country through Los Angeles yesterday. I was shocked. I didn't fully know who he was when he approached me, yelling with a phone camera in tow with his girlfriend, right? And he was like, "Oh, do you know me? I'm Nas Daily. Do you know me? I'm Nas Daily." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I turn around. This fucking guy. He's like, "Do you know me? I'm Nas Daily. I have a massive YouTube channel. And when he realized I had no fucking idea who he was, he started immediately yelling about Hamas. We're in fucking Havana, Cuba. Okay? We're at the Havana airport. And he just starts screaming about Hamas and Israel. He's like, "I'm Palestinian, and what you're doing is hurting the Palestinians." And I was like, "The fuck are you talking about?" Right?
Damn.
Hasan, do you ever get tired of pretending to not know what people are talking about on purpose? Hasan is obviously...
Yo, that's crazy. Like, how, I was about to say the same thing. How do you not know what he said? He said it. He said exactly what he was talking about. You knew what he was talking about. Was being confronted and did not want that smoke.
Never supported terrorists in his life, guys. You could never pull up a single fucking clip of him. Except every week on his stream, obviously. Anyways, before anyone starts yapping, let me be perfectly clear. I don't support this. I don't think anyone should go up to Hasan IRL or, scream in his face or confront him IRL. I still think that's pretty lame and dumb and pretty much dangerous as well. But yeah, this is another brain rot YouTuber, so you can't really expect much. But of course, Hasan calls him an agent of Israel. Bingo!
This was when you were leaving or arriving? No, this was when I was leaving. This is when I was leaving.
Was gonna bring up
I found it very strange that an agent of Israel was also in Cuba, right? And there were these wonderful older people that were also sitting at this cafe in the airport next to us. And they were so grossed out by this fucking freak that one of the ladies was like, "Hey, can I ask you,
wow,
like, what do you do that, like, this person is yelling at you? What's going on?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a pro-Palestinian political commentator." And he just was screaming. He just got like more and more agitated, right? Got more and more agitated because I wasn't giving him the attention that he desperately wanted. So I turned around. And I said,
talk about him now?
"Do you feel like this is making you look good? Do you feel like you're getting a good clip out of this? You're freaking out all of these people around us." And
was he filming? Was he like live streaming at the time? Why are you saying get a good clip? Meanwhile, you're making a clip out of this. You say you don't want to give him attention. You're giving him attention. You're doing a whole segment about him.
I think that was a moment of self-reflection for him because he kind of stopped and his girlfriend was embarrassed, right? His girlfriend was a little...
Hasan's one of the biggest clowns and pride bullies I have seen so far on the internet. I agree. A little
bit embarrassed. So he stopped. He stopped filming. We didn't film it. Marsh was next to me. We didn't give a fuck enough to film it.
Okay, this is so cap, all right? We all know that Hasan would instantly pull out the camera if any situation made him look good, right? Also, portraying himself as pro-Palestinian is the most disingenuous way of saying it. Nobody cares if you're pro-Palestine, you dumbass, okay? You're also pro-terrorist. That is the problem, all right? The problem is you take these causes and you insert yourself in the midst of it. You act as this fucking malignant tumor, right? This absolute cancer cell.
Like a Karen.
Just multiplying. Nah,
that's some Karen stuff right there. Hasan is definitely a Karen, bro. If you think about it. Karen alert. Oh my. It's Karen. She coming. Get your stuff. Get your stuff.
And supporting terrorists, the worst people on earth, and lumping everybody into that same category. Someone who claims to care about innocence while literally justifying their oppression and justifying acts of violence. And come on, stop with the fan fiction, bro. You were shitting yourself, please. This guy goes, "Oh yeah, I was just playing it so cool. I asked this lady next to me. Even she thought that he was..."
That sounds terrifying.
Lame. I just link up with J.K. Rowling at this point. You got some talent for fiction. So then he makes up the greatest fucking story I've ever heard.
He went away. And I thought that was the end of that equation. But we were leaving the cafe to go to our gate. But it turns out it didn't end there. He wanted more. He wanted a better clip because he couldn't get it, right? So he was filming from afar and yelling still, you're going to stop doing Hamas propaganda. You're going to stop doing Hamas propaganda. You need to stop being a supporter of Hamas. You're hurting the Palestinian cause. You're hurting the Palestinian cause. That's when I, experienced maybe a blip of a cortisol spike. So I turned around and said, what are you going to fucking do about it? I didn't even drop my bags. I just said, what are you going to do about it? You going to stop me? And he walked up.
Shut up. This fake tough guy. Hasan don't got a tough bone in his body. Like, what? What are you going to do? Stop it. Get some help. Gotta hit you with the Michael Jordan meme. You sound nuts.
Up to me. Still filming. I said, what are you going to do? Go ahead. Go ahead. Stop me. When his girlfriend realized that the situation was escalating, she tried to pull him off. He was like, come on, let's stop. Whatever. Okay. So we did. He started backing away. And I said, yeah, that's what I thought. We proceeded to go towards the gate. He came back again to yell from afar. He came back again to yell from afar to say, oh,
that's what I thought. Damn, you just said that his girlfriend told him, yo, come on, man, let's get out of here. Don't do it, whatever. He did the right thing. If I'm somewhere and it seemed like I'm about to get into fisticuffs and I have a girlfriend with me or whatever, and she tells me, yo, come on, that's probably not the best idea. I'm going to cool the hell down. Because clearly somebody that cares about me is saying, yeah, this ain't a good look. Right? It's not worth it. Ain't no, that's what I thought. Who are you trying to impress, Hasan? You not tough. You're not about that life. We've seen you get checked in person. Like, you never been about that life.
Oh, yeah, keep running away. And so I turned around and said, suck my dick.
Right, Hasan. You're so cool. You're so badass. And then everybody stood up and clapped. Of course, everybody stood up and clapped. Hasan, do you ever get tired of lying? Of course not. Lying is OP.
Lying is OP, as I say all the time.
Bro is ulting every 5 seconds, bro. We get it. We get it. You're making up some fucking random story to make yourself look cool because nobody's posting the footage. He goes, what are you going to do about it? Beat me up? I'm Hasan Piker. Oh, brother. Same guy that was literally quaking in his boots when somebody brought a Kaya meme up to him. He thought that was a death threat. And you were telling me you expect me to believe that this guy's like cool as a cucumber, right? Oh no, guys. He had a small cortisol spike. Translation, he fucking shit his pants, bro. Absolutely pathetic. I mean, I can almost 100% say that this guy is embellishing the story in some way. Okay, nobody's buying this shit.
I said, I can confirm that this Israeli agent was on the ground. He came up to me at the Havana airport to scream and weird everyone out. People around were worried about his mental health, looking forward to how he tries to chop up the video, wondering what his purpose was. He kept saying, don't you know me? I'm Nas Daily. I have a massive profile. His girlfriend also felt weirded out by his behavior. I hope he gets well soon. Okay. To which apparently he responded with, as a Palestinian origin Muslim for hundreds of years, I wanted to make it clear. By the way, everyone in his replies are like, you're not a Palestinian. Shut the fuck up. You're an agent of Israel. As a Palestinian origin Muslim for hundreds of years, I wanted to make it clear to you that you're bad for the Palestinian cause and your activism is hurting innocents and empowering terrorists. Palestinians want moderate leaders to lead them to peace and coexistence. They don't want you to lead them to another fight while you stay in 5-star hotels, live streaming wearing Gucci. P.S. You are only strong online. Okay. That's what, then I said, is that why you backed away after people were weirded out by your antisocial behavior, only to try and muster up the courage later to try a second attempt at a video shouting at me from afar? Will you put how you stood down when I asked what you do about it to stop me in the video? Brother, how am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know that an Israeli...
He's too old to be acting like this, bro. This just shows a certain level of immaturity that it really makes no sense.
Mossad agent followed my ass to Havana fucking
Hey Harley, how you doing?
Cuba and intercepted me at my point of travel and started yelling from afar with his phone camera out.
Right. Okay. So an Israeli Mossad agent intercepted him on his brave mission, obviously. Intercepted his path, of course. I mean, bro, like, come on. That's so funny because you can say, like, okay, it's like a disgruntled YouTuber. Oh, it's this guy who hates me or whatever. But framing it like some top world leader is just sending agents after you to intercept you, to intercept you and do what? I just genuinely don't know, like film you? There legitimately needs to be like a biography of Hasan. I can't imagine the shit they put in there. Like Hasan went to stay in a 5-star hotel on vacation, you know, went to deliver this humanitarian aid to the Cubans. And the poor guy was, forced to stay in luxurious 5-star hotels by the US government, you know, against his will. He was desperately trying to pepper them with cash, and he taught them the wonderful art of music. But, you know, he kept getting intercepted by agents of Israel. Poor guy. Anyways, we got the other people alongside Hasan. Breaking Christian Smalls arrives in Cuba wearing diamond-encrusted Versace gold necklaces. This is while the Cuban children in the picture don't have access to electricity. We just got this guy with like gold chains. It just seems wild to me. None of them even dressed down out of respect. They all went in their jewels and finest expensive outfits because they wanted to look good in their own photos, and off the hanger shirt and jeans just wouldn't cut it. If you told me a bunch of wealthy people would do a poverty tour of Cuba, dressed in all gold and jewels and designer gear, then retire to a grand hotel and wine, dine, and dance the night away, while everyone else in the country was in total darkness, without power and struggling, I'd have
dancing the night away is crazy.
Thought you were describing Soviet-era propaganda of their capitalist enemy. It was just too on the nose for them to take seriously. How do even half of the people who went still get called progressives or socialists when they are direct stand-ins of the most decadent depictions of wealthy, ignorant, self-aggrandizing capitalists and nobles? Yeah, I mean, the least you could do is be respectful, but Hasan just has to wear his fucking $5,000 outfit, you know? Right, we got this regard, he just has to.
The glasses cost $1,300. That's crazy. That's insane. The shirt costs like $700. How much is the pants? It looked like it says $550. I can barely see that. But that's nuts. A bracelet? What is that? Oh, a ring. Okay. $1,500. And his watch costs like $250. Yikes. Yeah, he out of pocket.
Wear his fucking $5,000 outfit, you know? Right, we got this regard here. Found the North Korean embassy today in Havana, Cuba. Two nations under imperialist siege joined diplomatically as they struggled against decades of U.S. violence. What did I say? What did I say? Next stop is North Korea. It's crazy. Look at this colossal fucking regard, dude. Oh my god. Yay, you like dictatorships. How brave of you. Anyway, so Asmongold responded to the whole music festivals.
So did Code Pink's humanitarian festival cause a blackout in Havana, Cuba? It seems like this event was kind of like Burning Man for like communists, right? It was like communist Burning Man. And so they all went to, but the only people burning up apparently are the ones in the hospital, and because they shut down the power. Oh, look at them all. Wow. Man, how about that? Oh, that's crazy. Like, I'm sorry, but like the moment that I see somebody running defense for a government that kills its own people for, like basically disagreeing with them, that's the moment that I stop. Like, you should never listen to the morality of a person like that. because everything that they're going to say is going to be retarded. Their own government kills their own people. There is nothing that could be more poetically just than for them to face those same consequences, for them to be put in those political work camps, for them to be sent to the re-education camps, for them to be the ones that gets put in jail and then, indefinitely held there forever. That's what should fucking happen to them. And I hope one day it does. They create a environment where this type of behavior is enabled. They create an environment where it's allowed and people accept it. And I think that's what makes it so toxic and bad.
Yeah, I don't know what the punishment should be for this. Hasan Piker, for sure, there's an argument for jail. People were saying that Hasan broke US law or whatever, but I don't know. But yeah, it's insane they prioritize the Westerners, make sure the consorts of power, but not the hospitals. Got to make sure the Westerners are able to do their propaganda, right? We cannot disappoint them. And I feel like it's one thing to LARP from America or whatever European country you're from, but to go to these places and see the conditions and still not open your eyes, still have this virus in your mind. Like, I cannot understand it. It's truly a pathology of the mind. And I really refuse to allow this to be normalized, this terrorist support, this dictatorship support, these people oppressing their own citizens, and they just,
You said wealth material does not follow you to the afterlife. Facts. That's big facts.
Pretend everything's nice and dandy here. So then he talks about Hasan's hotel, of course.
See that? Wow, what a nice place. And everywhere else is pitch fucking black. Oh my God. Jesus! Look at that! I have a friend in Cuba that just notified me that every patient in the hospital that was on a ventilator died tonight. Well, I don't know about every single one, right? It's hard to say, but it does look like that probably happened. So this basically caused a huge power outage. And this is, again, think about how sad that is. My mom was on a ventilator, what the fuck? Even my dad was for a period of time. To just, imagine somebody sitting there in a hospital bed, just, dying just because the power's out. It's just that's horrible. What a terrible way to die.
It's remarkable. The people's resilience is remarkable. There's rolling blackouts that take place throughout the day, every day, all around the country, right? 11 million people. But today is a beautiful day out here. It's 75 degrees, sunny. People are partying. People are partying in the fucking streets. I don't know if it's an island mindset. I don't know if it's
Are you really trying to run defense for the fact that they can't keep the power on? You're really trying to reframe the fact that they can't keep the power on as some kind of fucking resilience of imperialism. This is the most embarrassing shit, bro.
That's exactly what he's doing. Bar for bar. Asman ain't playing. He's not going to fall for the bull crap. And neither are we.
Yeah, I truly think that Hasan's reputation has been irreparably damaged. This is easily worse than shocking his dog, right? Just observing the side by side is the most heinous shit. And they don't even stop for a second to think that, hey, why is the government actually allowing me to just waltz over there and do whatever the fuck I want here? Maybe because they know they specifically reached out to people like Hasan because they know what kind of content he fucking does. You're known for being a dictator glazer, a dictator dick eater. They're using you for propaganda and you are using them to, boost the numbers on your stream, appear as a humanitarian, donate far less money than you actually made off your stream. And in the end, the only people who suffer are the Cubans. It's absolutely disgusting. People responded, this is literally just a vacation plan disguised as humanitarian aid. And how does a music festival help the Cubans? Hasan, what are these people talking about? The light just stays fine in my 5-star hotel. It's propaganda, guys. They're just lying. Look, my internet's fine. It has been demonstrated that Code Pink receives indirect funding from the CCP to foster division and turmoil in the US. everything they engage in is essentially artificial, goes to Cuba to help people, throws a party, question marks, black out the country. The no kings people or the yes dictators people, don't ask for logic here. We're so far beyond that at this point. Always remember, they don't hate authoritarianism. They want to be an authoritarian. Yeah, these are the people calling everybody fascist. And then when they actually see fascism, they're like, we love this shit. We absolutely love this shit. POV, you're in the apocalypse and the elites are in their ivory tower. They don't realize that Cubans see right through this bullshit. No, don't worry. Hasan will pepper you with wads of cash. Hasan shot Kaya so bad the power went out in Cuba. Now click this video to stay tuned to the legend.
Yeah, shout outs to Pegasus. But yeah, Hasan's nasty as hell, bro. I knew that since day one. But of course, his audience might not even see that. They might believe all the bull crap that he's saying, but the real ones recognize it. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section. Hit the like button. Hit the hype button as well. And watch more videos.